Just a quick disclaimer. We are live and we are dropping, dumping. People use various different words. As you guys can see, we have been at 32.5, at 32.6, the highest recently. And since then, we have came down already to 32,000 on Bitcoin. There is a small resistance at 32,000, which I believe that will be broken fairly quick, and we will continue on our way. Just want to see what are our possible resistance. So we have a resistance coming up at 31.75. Next resistance coming around at 31.37 or so. Then 31.18. And then 31,000. Which from there we'll have another resistance at possible 30,000. And then we will enter into 29. You're probably asking, is it possible that we can go past 39,000? And I'm probably would say there's a good possibility. We are developing momentum, and I'm pretty sure as we continue, the momentum will continue to increase. As you guys can see, we already dropped below head and shoulder. As we can see, a head and shoulder right here, and we are continuing to fall. When we make it through this area, we might possibly have a slowdown a little as we go through these areas, because here we took an elevator, so there's a possibility we might have to actually take the stairs. But at the same time, it might be the opposite. As we traded the last couple weeks, or the last week or so, at this area of 31.32 to, I would say, 31.2, somewhere this area. So this area might actually come with some support resistance, but breaking through this area. I'm more worried about these areas right here, where we break through this at 31,100. Here we might actually have some more support to break through. But I guess I'll be live through at least some of this drop, unless it starts happening really quickly, and kind of comment as we go. There might be quite a bit of silence, as I will not have what to share, and plus I'm kind of tired. So as I mentioned already in previous videos, I am leveraged out at 2.6x. Be honest, I am in 12. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In 12 trades. Actually, I'll do a screenshot for you guys. I don't know, for some reason, I don't feel comfortable showing my client's Binance account. I don't know why, where this comfort comes from, but I'll show you guys screenshot of the coins that I am in a trade with. So it's a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 coins. I am doubled up on Bitcoin. So that's everything else is 1,000 a piece. Bitcoin is at 2,000. So 12 trades, $13,000 total in trade. Let's see what happens. I'm kind of looking forward to that. I know Tom has dropped. Where's those? On a video, unfortunately, I have not seen it. Actually, yeah, I have not seen it. So breaking news: crashing prices. So I guess it's just an update on prices going down. I'm not sure if I can play somebody else's YouTube video on my live. So we'll just go as is and proceed. I have been looking towards this drop for about 48 hours now plus. So definitely looking to recover some losses and put some profit in my client's bag. So that is as it is. Sometimes these drops happen quick, and sometimes they take some time, especially when right now the market is kind of want to go up. People kind of, got convinced by Elon Musk that it's okay, it's good. I would have never want to harm Bitcoin, especially since, like his words, I'm saying might not be exactly word for word, but since especially it is my major portfolio coin of my portfolio and portfolio SpaceX and Tesla, so definitely was not his intention of hurting it, which actually those people that misunderstood him, I guess, before, now actually are the ones that actually jumping in. So we might not see as a fast of a drop as sometimes we have seen in the past. But again, possibly I'm wrong. Let's see what happens. Whoever is watching me, I appreciate you. If you don't mind commenting something, so ask a question. This actually can be a lot more interesting stream that way. If you guys do have any questions, I'll definitely ask. And I'll try my best to um, share, explain, and proceed. Uh, if you have an opportunity to short and you have not shorted yet, especially if we start breaking out and you want to be, extra caution, especially when we start breaking underneath where we traded last week, would be a perfect place to enter if we will be crashing through all these areas. But I am quite very convinced we are on our way down already, and this based on that, this is our shoulder, and we have dropped below the shoulder. So personally believe we are on our way down. So welcome. Appreciate if you could comment, state your name in our comment section, ask a question. Let's make this live stream a little bit more interesting. while running this live stream, let's actually go over
new YouTube video.
Yeah, Tom just uploaded another video. I'll go over the playlist of my channel. View my channel. There it is. If you come down to playlist, these are the videos that actually may help me understand the market, and I would recommend you guys to do the same. Find a playlist. I guess this is from the from my view. There's a playlist. So definitely find a playlist, trading courses miscellaneous. They're shorter courses, will help you kind of get a better understanding on some of the patterns and possible different ways of trading. Also, play the trading course by TR. This will actually help you understand who's behind, help you understand why you as a trader are destined to lose unless you become smart and wise and stop falling into their traps. So very, very knowledgeable information, as well as some insights on how to increase your success. So those are the two playlists that I would highly recommend. Both of them have been put together by me, but they're not my videos. But they made a difference for me. They actually helped with a couple of other people sharing some of the things is what actually helped me with the missing puzzles. What actually helped me understand the market better and actually, hey, anybody can trade in a bullish market when everything's going up. You just put in a trade and just have enough of patience and close it before it turns around and you're in profit. But when you're actually going inside a market like we have been for the last month and a half, it can become very challenging, and especially when you develop a habit of trading in a bullish market and you're jumping in when things are starting to take off. In the sideways market, that's usually the top, and you got in and it's reversed, and you're like, but I just got in. Why it flipped on me? Because you got in right at the top, and it's flipped because it's a different form of trading in the SAR market as well as different form of trading in a bearish market. So I am starting to notice there's at least 5, 6 different movements in the market, and in each one you have to have a unique way to trade. Bullish, as I mentioned, you get in and you just get out before it flips. Sideways market, you want to actually trade. And let's actually talk a little bit on the side moving market. So as we moved sideways here on Bitcoin, what I usually like to do is if I'm trading a side moving market, let's say I waited, it came down, I feel that's probably the bottom. I get in somewhere in this region, maybe as it comes down, and gave me the false reason that it's going up, and then I'll have a stop loss. Usually somewhere in this case, I would actually this side right here, I would actually skip, and I'll probably start trading somewhere in this region right here. So let's say I start trading this one never came up and took my order. This one then actually came up and took my order in, because when I'm side trade, I always do limit orders, because I'm just waiting for it to actually come up, grab my limit order. As soon as limit order orders, I will look at what is the mid center of the region that is trading in, and I'll do about 60% from the top to bottom. So I'll put in my sell order, let's say somewhere here. So as it came here, it would actually sell. I never actually try to trade from top to bottom in the trading area. I'll trade from top to past center. Then I'll put in my order at the low. So in this case, it would not take my order, as the order did not take, and it started going up. I would actually put in another order again, like in this case. We I would put in an order somewhere again in this area, stop it out. Because it stopped out, I would not put in an order until the picture becomes more clear where we heading. Then as we created new high, I would actually watch, will we break the trend like in this situation would be. And since we did not break the trend, we started coming down, I would actually into the trade. Now I would actually trade between here and the old resistance line. So it actually, enter somewhere here, sell it about here, enter here, then sell it in this region again, possibly enter here, and then sell it again as we break through the support line. I would enter here and then exit roughly about here if we're moving sideways. So those will be kind of my sideways trading. I also try to pick sideways, when going sideways, the trades that actually do move up and down a lot often than what Bitcoin is doing. So that's kind of why I kind of prefer not to trade um, stuff that actually can spread out, because you kind of cannot do a lot of trades, and the goal is to do at least 5 to 10 trades in 8 hours. Um, hey Jeremy, welcome. Hold on. Coins follow the trends of Bitcoin. Majority, I would say 90%, 90 to 99% of the coins, they do follow Bitcoin. Might not be exact, but they do have quite a bit of similarity. The only time that I would say 1 to 9% of them that do not, that is when they do have a certain um, news particular to the coin, and that coin then can break away and go on its own for a while, and then we'll come back and catch up with Bitcoin. Yes, the crypto, especially with is running today down, and if we come down to 30 and lower, we are still in a downtrend. Um, a lot of YouTubers were hoping that we're gonna come up to 33, 33.5, 34,000, and turn this into a bullish run, but it doesn't seem like it happening. So yes, Daniel, we looks like we're still moving down, and you can find videos on my channel how you can trade uh, bearish and bullish markets instead of trading from your wallet, which is also cheaper to trade with like Binance than actually trade out of your wallet. Jeremy, you are welcome. I'm doing what I kind of believe is the right thing. If you guys can give me some more ideas, I might actually, think them through and maybe do some adjustments, changes to keep this actually as successful channel as possibly can. End goal is to help every single one of you get to financial goals that you guys are looking to. Daniel, yesterday 30K to 29, so now you don't show in a moment how actual crypto is marketing. Like yesterday, today, I still believe we are moving towards 30 and 29. I hope I understood that question. Um, we will be going down unless there is, as we can notice, that in the last 48 hours, that Elon Musk has a huge impact on crypto market. The run up that we had happening 3 days ago should have never happened. The only reason it happened is because people trade rumors and sell the news, and as rumors start coming out that Elon Musk will be speaking, we had this run up. Now, if Elon Musk realizes, and I already mentioned that in previous video, that this way he can turn the market into bullish market again, all he needs to do is start doing daily or 2, 3 videos a week live, and pretty much there is no more bearish market until people get tired of listening to him. And that's the way the reality might become. And he's not a stupid guy, at least from my point of view. Probably one of the smartest guys living right now on the planet. Unfortunately, because of so much information going through his head and he's thinking of multiple things at once, that's where the speech of his, the slow speech, is coming from, because he's having a hard time holding on to the thought as he speaks. I primarily watch crypto. I will bounce between various different coins, especially when I'm looking to trade. As you can see, all coins from here to here I am in trade in. All coins that from top to bottom beside the DXY are coins I've been in trades in the last 2, 3 weeks. So those are kind of I will delete some coins as I kind of don't feel comfortable continuing watching because they're not providing me enough of information to make me feel comfortable trading them. And then I'll bring new coins in and kind of watch new coins. ESS coin, that's also something that I'm watching. I am not trading. Um, I heard some interesting stuff about it, so but it has suffered quite a bit in the recent time. So let's actually jump to it shortly and kind of look. I started watching this coin around 1.4 cents. Since then, it has actually took quite a bit of a rundown. I am waiting for the time when it will go up. Not a lot of exchanges are making this coin available to trade. So there is an exchange that I found. I believe that's Phoenix that actually still allows you to trade it. So the platform that I probably would be trading if it starts showing some signs of growth. Especially since it's that low and it has some potential, would be a nice coin to ride it to the top um, when it actually gets to the point of riding to the top. If you look at the history in the past, during our January, February, March growth, this coin actually had some very nice growth. So this coin definitely can do easy 10x. I believe that's what it is. Let's look at the ruler. Let's say even if we decided to get in somewhere in this area, that's 3x. That's 300% the growth. So yeah, that's definitely that would be a nice growth opportunity. What else? Let's get back to Bitcoin. This is a bounce, possibly building out another shoulder. I wouldn't panic say that it's the end and we're coming back up. Even though if you watch Tom, and I really highly encourage watching Tom if you have not, uh, you can find my channel on YouTube. It is Slavic as it is on Facebook, space D, so it doesn't spell out my full last name. Subscribe to the channel. Then in my videos, almost all videos have a description section. You'll see Tom's channel, Tom's videos. Click on that. Guy is highly knowledgeable on this. He's also my teacher, and he believes that there is might be a possibility we might be coming back and trying to do another head. I personally think we're done, but again, we are at the end of the week. The weekend is in front of us, and weekends can throw us some surprises. I don't remember was this weekend or the previous weekend, or we're talking the last 2 weekends. One of those weekends actually took us down. Were actually the reason that we actually went down, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That was the 20th. 20th was Tuesday. What happened 17, 18? Actually, those were actually the going up days. So yeah, when everything we were suspecting to go down and break through the 31,000. So that was then out of a blue, we actually went up on those weekends and ran to I believe was 32.5. So yeah, weekends can actually be surprising. So as we come to the close of the day, to New York Stock Exchange closure, I will be paying very, very close um, attention to what's happening because weekends can be surprising, and I don't want to get caught with a surprise in my client's bag. So, welcome, Hassan, and thank you for your comment. So, definitely find me, uh, find me guys on YouTube and subscribe because I'm not sure if I will be doing constant Facebook posts like these. I am doing it for now to get those that are interested in crypto to change over to YouTube. But Facebook, I personally believe, is more of a family app, and family related stuff is being posted on it compared to business and income. So I kind of don't feel comfortable doing this on Facebook for long term. But if I do develop a good following, I might continue that. So this is where we stand right now. There's a this site build out or might actually last up to an hour. I don't know. Let's see another probably to 20 minutes and see what happens before we bring this live stream to the end. Because if it continues dropping, I'll go keep on staying live. But if it's going to try to go sideways, then it's going to be quite boring. All our excitement is either running up or running down, I guess, right? So, looks like my internet might be getting unstable. So we'll see. Looking forward, guys, for more questions. Definitely give them. I'll try to respond. Also, for those of you that are still here, and Tom's, that's you can find a link to him on my videos at YouTube. Has also training courses. They're $50 a month, but they worth every penny of it, especially for those that actually want to be more successful at trading. We are just finishing up building another AM, which has a good potential. Like we had a built-in AM right here. I'm actually bringing this to the bottom, and if you guys watch it, we actually been having AMs throughout the drop. Not sure exactly what this would be interpreted, but even here we came down and we finished up an AM. So yeah, we're definitely continuing down, that's for sure. I did kind of notice as I watch, whenever we start dropping at certain point, Bitcoin kind of slows down, like as if the heartbeat is just becoming slow, and then we start moving again down. And just right before we started moving, before we started did this candle right here, that was kind of like almost came to the still. One of the reasons, as you watch the price and it's coming to a still, is because there is a limit order that's large enough, and there is no buying power, only selling power. So it has to go and completely complete that order to remove that barrier for it can continue going down. So that's one of the reasons sometimes you kind of see the stop of price because there is no buyers, but there is sellers that actually pushing through an order that actually on its way. As you guys can also see, the chart went red. ETC is the only one that's still out of the coins that in the list is the only coin that still in green, which is an indicator that it is a bearish day, and we are definitely will be closing this day in the bearish form. The worstest part of it all, the volume is just dying. Look at the volume during the drop. But as we continued going to the right, the volume is just becoming almost at zero. That's last candle that closed is 3.3 million. Candle before that 4 million. Again 3.5 million, 4 million. So just the new candle that closed was at 3 million. So volume is definitely dropping. People are getting on sidelines, and only those that are panicking are selling, and actually those that actually going short, they're buying shorts. So that is also a sign that people are waiting what's going to happen next, and do not want to put money into something that's not going that they don't believe it's going up anymore. So that's usually when institutions come into play. I do not have an institution type system turned on right now. Let me turn it on, and we can start seeing here's an institution that came in and bought or moved it up, while here we had institutions that actually were selling. Another institutional buy, sell, buy. So but as you guys can see in a 50-minute chart, these were institutional cells that actually brought it down. Only during the weekend we can see this kind of things happening. During the week, market makers are very watching markets very slowly, and unless they do a move like this, otherwise it's not happening. So Not exactly looking towards the weekend in crypto, but it is common for some of you that are in Europe, Asia, and other side of the globe. The weekend is already here for you, and I guess we will be patiently seeing what will it bring to us. But definitely looking for another institutional sell to continue this push down. But this might be building out a shoulder for a little while. So we'll have some patience. If I had patience for the last 2 days, honestly, when we reach the top right here, from here on, I've been having patience because that's when I got in for a reversal as a short, and from then I actually been in short, actually somewhere in this area right here that I got in, and then actually holding short or somewhat holding short since then till now, because I did sell at one point because kind of panicked a little, costed me quite a bit. So that's why I'm right now looking for that recovery of what it costed me for the mistake. I sold. I also bought a long at one point, trying to recover that sell, but it turned out to be I bought it a little too high. I am still not perfect. I am still working out the links in my trading structure, especially working on controlling myself. It's probably the hardest thing to do. There's certain somewhere in the scriptures where if you have control over your mouth, you can have control over the whole ship or the whole body. So I kind of somewhat figure out a way how to control my tongue, but still working on learning to control my emotions. I am better at it, but if you would meet me as a child, I had emotions had a lot of control over me. So over the years, I have been able to develop that control. But when it comes down to trading, I discovered how still uncontrollable my emotions are. So, and that is, and that to say to every trader out there, if you want to trade, you need to start working on controlling your emotions. In the meanwhile, while you're working on controlling emotions, you put together a plan of action on every single trade you're planning to do and wait for the trade to come to you. What I mean to that, if you decided to short, as the scandal is up, like you decided to short, you pick a price where you will be entering into the short. Uh, what is going to be your rough estimated stop loss? And what is going to be your possible take profit? And you put in a limit order for taking that short. And you continue watching the market coming to you and exercising your plan and put it into action. But if you see this thing is started running and you're trying to chase and you're trying to get in on a ride, especially if you don't even have a clue where is the top, where is the bottom of the channel, and let's say you get an in right here at the top to go long, you chase the train all that 2 or 3 hours was going up, and you jumped in into the train right here at the top, and that train actually said it's the end, and it reversed, you actually going into loss. But if you planned your trade in advance and you put in a limit short, and that train came on and picked you up, and right now, as you know, it traded sideways, so a little painful to watch as money going red, going green, and can cost you a little fortune if it breaks through and goes somewhere else. But at the end of the day, when it comes a day like today where it starts acting on your plan and start actually going the direction you planned it out, can be widely and hugely rewarding. That's why I always say don't chase the trade. Put together a plan and let the trade come to you. These trades are probably one of the most successful trades because you planned it out, you calculated possible profit, possible loss with uh, limit stop order, and you place them all based on your belief, and you take the write down. Now, one thing that I will also share with you guys as you are taking a write down, as you're writing down, don't be scared to take 10, 15, 20, 30% profits as you're going down. Because if that train, for whatever reason, decides to turn around and run from somebody that's trying to jump, want to get a jump on it, at least you're cashing in some profits as it comes down. So even if it goes into red, uh, and you end up, taking and giving back some of the profit, at least you're not giving back all the profit. Okay, Jeremy, where does it tell you the buying volume value?
New YouTube video.
Okay, in Trading View, I downloaded called Crypto USD Volume. So here at the bottom, based on the candle, so pretty much my cross, which you choose right here, as you pick the candle, let's say I'm picking the last candle that closed. When I put it on the candle right here, where it says crypto USD volume, it will show a number. So like right now, it's showing 10,826,000. So that is where you would actually see the value. Um, if you're using a standard volume chart, most all in crypto will say volume in Bitcoin value. That's why I use USD value, so it automatically converts and tell me dollar value instead of Bitcoin value. Okay, yeah, it's a 3 a.m. in Sydney where I am. Wow, it's gonna be a nice long night for you, I guess. It's been a long 3 days for me, to be honest. It is Sunday for you. Yeah, yeah, that's right. It's Sunday. Hey, Daniel. Hello. Oh, we are working on our way down. We have already took a ride from the head through the shoulder, reached a first stop of the considered bottom. Build out. I don't know, another shoulder or a hip or whatever. Not sure what is being called. This right here. And seems like we're getting ready for another push, but also we're waiting for the volume to pick up for the next push because without a volume, I'm not sure we can get another push down. So that's where we're standing now. Uh, hedging. Can you be a little bit more specific about what do you mean hedging? Because I heard of the word, but not sure if I can connect things the dots together. Jane. X for you to hedge their prediction just in case. Uh, okay, I'm kind of seeing where you're coming from. Honestly, I never researched hedging, never looked into different options. One of the ways that I sometimes will do, but honestly, it kind of been more of a cost to me than profitable, is let's say I took a short. Let's say I'm trading short, and as the short comes down to here and it starts going up, and I'll actually take on the top of the short. I'm not going to get out of the short, but as it goes against me, I'll take a long. But I still have to iron out the issues because you can get in, take the long, but then you have to find out where the top is and get out to offset that loss that right now you're moving against, and actually double dip, in other words to say, in a trade. But you would have to be really good to actually do those. So far, I have not been successful doing that kind of a trade. But you're probably talking more kind of like an umbrella for your trades type, kind of like insurance. Other than going both directions, and I have probably mentioned one of the videos. Here, actually, let's do an example here on a daily chart. We have a tunnel here, right? So in the middle of the tunnel, we have a line that actually it's a 50-50 split between up and down. So let's say here you came into this trade and you actually took out two orders. One is a long order in futures, of course. One is a long order, one is a short order. So right now you continue going up. So as the short order is running against you as you're going up, the long order is actually going in your favor. So your total P&L, or your unrealized take profit, is actually staying at zero because you took two orders in separate directions. But now, as you came to the top, you decide, okay, I'm going to actually cash out. I'm at the top, and I don't believe it's going to go any further. Or if it goes, it might go another 0.5%, and then you don't want to take that risk. So you cash out. So right now you you realized the long order, but you still have a short order that actually is against you. Now, as it comes down and it comes back to that entry point, you're actually going to break even at that short order. But but you did take profit at long order, so you actually balance in your account is higher. Now, another option, what you can do if you are convinced, like today, I am convinced we're going down, is actually you double up on your short order. Now, as you double up, you brought down that from that 50% line down to about 70% line, that order. So you have a lot less distance to travel to break even on that short. But anything further from there down is actually you're right now doubling what you had originally had on that order. So now, when you come down again to the 50 spot, you would take around probably 45 because we are in a down trend, probably around 45, 40% of the tunnel. You would actually take out another long just in case we flip, and continue riding. And when you got to a point where it's actually flipping at the bottom, you would actually close that short and then open another long, not open a double up on your long, and then take your ride back up. So that would be another way of using like a hedge style, but in trading. So kind of always protecting your trade by going both directions on the trade. Well, I just watched the video on buying in the opposite way when you are in a profit, almost like in insurance. Well, it's pretty much similar to what I just explained. And I am trading in futures in the hedge form because then you can have long and short orders as separate orders compared to you would be canceling out your your order when you're actually not in a hedge format. So if that's what you refer to, yes, I am in a my account is set up in futures as a hedge style. Um, where we would actually do that preference. Yes, so yeah, you would actually go under preference, so where you would see the open close order in that section, you have a kind of a lines right and left. You would click on that, select preference, go into position mode, and instead of one-way mode, you would select the hedge mode. There's another option. It's under asset mode, and there's a single asset mode and a multi-asset mode. Be honest, I tried both. Actually, I thought that multi-asset mode will allow me to open multiple orders of, let's say, shorts in Bitcoin. So I can, have multiple orders, but that turned out not to be what I thought. So went back to single asset mode. I am still interested in finding something where I can have orders that I can have multiple orders. Let's say I want to open up a short at 33,000. I want to open up another short at 32,000, another short at 31,000, another order at let's say 30,000, and all of them going short. And this way, then instead of selling orders, you take orders in both directions. As long as you know that you are traveling trading within the tunnel, you close those orders only when they are in profit. So whenever they're in a loss, you don't touch it. This way, you can actually have you know trade the tunnels, and if whenever the you break outside of the tunnel, you don't panic. You just leave that order and move on. This is actually the system that market makers are using. They don't combine like we our order being combined in one direction together. Um, Market makers, when they place an order, their orders, every single orders are separate orders. So that's why they can have orders like at 65,000, and when we dropped and they were actually going order to long orders, they just left them there. They never closed those orders because they know that eventually we will be coming back to 65 and higher. So what's the point closing the order at 65 when we come back, let's say 3-4 months down the road, and they'll be able to close it at 75 or at 80. So that is something that I would love to see, that form of trading available to general public, not just to banks and market makers. But unfortunately, I have not seen that available on a huge exchange like Binance. I don't like to trade small exchanges because when you put in a market order, sometimes you can have a 0.5% uh, going against you when you sell that order, because they, even though in other exchanges the seller or the buyer was available to that they can fulfill your order was closed, but on that exchange it could have been too far, so you end up actually swallowing that big spread. And sometimes when you're scalping, or as I call it, snipering, and you're shooting for that $6, you cannot afford having a $40 split and and a $10 fee. That's why I stick with Binance futures, because it only has an $1,000 round trip, $8 fee total. So if I'm doing a $10,000 trade, I know I need to close at least at $10 so I can put $2 in my pocket after $8 fee. Where you have a $30 or $50 fee, like a lot of people do trade out of their wallets, it becomes unrealistic at that point to scalp $10 moves. So what exactly are we building here? It looks like half of an amp, but then second half of the amp looks to be very small, which is indication that we are um, bearish. And here's example, which the second half is not complete yet. But if we put a line, and let's say it tops out there, we still have the bearish move, which is indication we will be continuing down, just a matter of time. I also like to do lines. So instead of doing this line, what I like to do is find a candle that will actually adjust based on and kind of adjust as it continues going down, so you can actually have a momentum trend, and as soon as that momentum start losing that momentum, the one of these, as further down you go, will start breaking out outside of the line, and that is when you'll know that you kind of reached a point where we're going to have a long pause and trade sideways, or most likely we came to a reversal. Kind of give you guys an example so you guys can understand. So I'll take this run up. We also had these long pauses, so that lasted like right here, probably 3-4 hours or so. So it's normal that we are right now in a pause. But here's what I mean. You're gonna take a trend line, and I use the ray where you have two dots and then an endless line going to the side. And then you're gonna do is you're gonna find a candle. Oops. Use a magnet. So if you took this line and you set it up, let's say either right here, one of those candles, it will start showing you when we entered into the side trend, because start breaking out outside of your line. Then, as you are sitting and waiting for this, um, as you can see that we still had this pop up to the top, but we started trading and breaking the momentum right here with this candle. So this candle, even though it came back, but we already fell out, it tried to get back in, but it's been having problems. Then we have that pump, but anything after that pump, it was serious out. So a lot of times what I'll use is I'll use these kind of lines to let me know when it's time to get out of the trade. And I don't honestly care about this extra, because what if this right here was the candle and it started actually pulling out and then we started trading, you never actually had this. I'd rather lose the opportunity of this candle than lose the opportunity of, of that effort that I put in for this trades, and actually, it reverses and goes back to, let's say, to trade in this area. So that's one other thing is I'll use these trends to make sure that I'm in instead of out. So let's see where we stand. I will get rid of this line because we're done with it, but I will be watching this line. I do believe we are coming down, so I'm going to start looking for a trend failures closer towards 29. But again, because we are moving into the weekend, we might have to, watch it closer. And as we had it on this side, where we had quite a bit of movement to the side. So, if you put a trend line from here to here, we would have been outside of the trend already. So you want to establish your first, I don't know, we call it shoulder, whatever you want to call this, side movement. So until this side movement here is complete and we have another drop, my trend line would not be accurate, will not be accurate no matter what. So I can pretty much at this point just predict something like this, or maybe even something like this, and then see when we have that second drop, so I can actually have more accurate of a trend line. Oh, okay. Well, I just watched the video. Okay, right. Okay, makes sense. I'm gonna check how that works on Binance. Sure, you're welcome to. If you do not have a Binance account, there's links on YouTube videos in the description section. Appreciate if you use that referral link. Also, there's a video on my channel right in the beginning. I did video 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of will walk you through if you are in US and you will be trading on behalf of a client. How to actually make it work so you can trade your client's account that are outside of US. If you are in a long uh, trade, I personally would sell. Kash, I believe how you pronounce your name. But if you're in a short, I would actually wait until we get down to 29 at least before you sell. Um, Now, when you sell, let's say right now, when we're at, let's say, 32,000, and you buy back at 29, that's the same thing as you would earn the $3,000 worth of long trade. Of course, you didn't put that in your wallet, but you also have not lost it. So that's the way I look at it. Yes, they do bundle up Daniel the orders, but hey, too many regulations, too many of many, and end of the day, the companies themselves, like Binance and other trading platforms, they're trying their best to make us and the government and everybody else happy. So sometimes, we need to be appreciative for what they offer us because they could have said, screw the traders and just offer us a chart and a buy button and a sell button and said, have fun with it. Hi, Daniel. As we possibly are prepping for this drop, which I was thinking I'm probably going to be a lot bigger build out, but now we have most likely a possible second spot to anchor ourselves down to. Now, if we're gonna if we're going to have another build out, we need to readjust that line. The second line down or the second jump down might actually have a bigger going sideways. You might have to readjust it, but now try not to readjust too much so you kind of get yourself tricked out of actual breakout. So have some wisdom as you adjust. And be honest, we have just only moved, barely moved. So don't panic. There is a lot more to go on a move. Only 0.6%. That's taken just a candle width and about 2.7% from the top. So we have at least between 7 to 9% to go within the next 24 to 40 to 72 hours. Let's put it this way. So, ouch! Did I just close something? No, they're all here. Yeah, sometimes you push the button, you're like, ouch! I might have made a boo boo. Yeah, still, see, we're still possibly not a good quality trend line, as well as there's another way to actually create this trend line and actually use it as verification is finding on a 1 minute chart, finding that perfect top that that is reasonably within the trend, and then you take this. spot right here, and let's say we had this anchor right here. As you can see, we touched it here, but you want to make sure that we're not just touching here, we're actually not breaking, we're sitting right on the line. So we touched it here once, we almost touched it here, we touched it here, and we touched it here. So now established trend from the top right now and then on the shoulder will give us a more possible how long this will continue to the side. So that is also quite sometime quite wisdom or a trick how to actually kind of get an idea where we at. So looks like we have an institutions trying to buy in, believing that we are still going up. Let's see what they do. We also had an institution that sold, while another institution came in and bought. So um, some very interesting things, and we will continue watching them. But as we came to this trend, and we have came up to the height of our first half of the M, this actually might be our second half, and from here we will be start kind of going based on this trend. But again, we did get a push from here, so our line slightly off, slightly inaccurate somewhere. So what I'm gonna do is at this point use this spot as a spot where actually it did push back, and that's going to be right now my trend line through which I will be using through the rest of this drop. So now I can predict roughly about when. Let's do this. So if I'm calculating that we're going to come down to the 29.6, which means we will get to that level as long as it continue moving and supporting that momentum somewhere at 1 o'clock New York time tomorrow. So it's going to be a long trip down if we're not going to hit any very heavy supports and also have institutions on our side to continue down. There is a possibility as we came down to this big shoulder right here, we might be in a position to building out that shoulder here. So in that case, this trend line will actually become valid as we will be building this shoulder, and this shoulder, as we can see, lasted from noon on the 21st to about noon on the 20th, so pretty much 24 hours. So if we are starting to build out this shoulder right here with that another spike up, that means we might be sitting on this upper area for another 10 to 24 hours before we continue that. So that is another possibility. As there's no more watchers, I will be closing my stream, and I'll come back if there's anything valuable to share. Blessings to all and to your guys' success. See you guys soon.